COVID-19 has affected us all in drastic ways over the past couple of years. Digital transformation exploded and face-to-face became a thing of the past. However, now that regulations have eased and consumers are returning to physical interaction, how has the banking industry in Egypt been affected? Are people re-engaging with face-to-face services, or are digital channels now king?
COVID-19, Alex, have turned most companies' goals upside down, and even they have changed their strategy to survive the tide. Even the behavior of the customer has changed to cope with the circumstances. And yes, now I have seen a huge return face-to-face customer dealing with our employees in the branches to handle their needs. But if we can make a comparison between the pandemic year and the year after in Egypt specifically, in terms of number of online transaction, so we will find that according to Egypt Digital Report, in year 2019, there was 45 million of online transaction with total amount $4.34 billion versus the year after the pandemic year is somehow settled and being controlled somehow. There was 41 million of online transaction purchase with total amount $3.28 billion. I know that there is no huge difference between both figures, 45 million and 41, but worth to say that there was an increase in the internet users by 8%. Yes, I can see now people are going back to their daily routine, their daily basis, interacting with our employees. However, our effort and investment in the digital platform will always take place and exist because you have to give customers both ways, whether he wants to deal with us in a digital platform or direct interaction, and also to avoid any future pandemic crisis or lockdown.
Yeah, I think that is a very good point. And from the figures that we see coming out of European reports that they do, customers want to have all options when it comes to
Yes,
banking. So it doesn't
yes,
matter whether it's pandemic or not. Customers now want to have all options there and decide when and where to interact with their bank.
yeah.
So overall, how important do you think are digital channels when it comes to customer engagement at the moment in Egypt?
Digitalization is very important in Egypt nowadays. Most companies, COVID-19 has encouraged most companies to go and implement digital channels in their services as soon as possible. Here in Egypt, we have 96% of the Egyptian total population having smartphones. This makes it for us easy to increase customer engagement through digital channels. But also, we have to keep an eye on customers' behavior and culture that should be embedded in the digital transformation part. In my own perspective, this strategy, this transformation strategy, should have three main aims. First, service hassle free, human intervention at a certain point, and security wise. We have implemented a lot of services in our digital channels to save customers effort, time, and being hassled, like transferring money from bank to bank, instant online payment, paying the bills, opening accounts, a lot of other services. For the second aim, I can say that age bracket in Egypt makes the factor of human intervention is a must. Proving this, if we can look at the usage of online purchase according to the age, so you will find that age between 54 and above, they use it by 49%, while the youth and the age between 24 and 53, they use it by 60%. You have to give customer both ways, whether he wants to act directly or through digital channels, as I mentioned, because if it doesn't go by this way, we may face an increase in number of complaints and decreasing customer engagement. Worth also to mention that there was in Egypt a startup that implement chatbots instead of call center. And they didn't recognize their limitation, and according to this, they lost a lot of customers and failed in customer engagement. Above all this, if you want to implement anything new, you have to make sure 100% that it is that the customer feels safe while using it. Some business focus on the transformation part, while this transformation part have been always about people.
So I think the important point from this is that you shouldn't kill off the channels that you're trying to get away from immediately before you really test the effect of the new channels. I think that is a very important point to be made.